Sorry. Hey man, hi. What's up?
Hey, what's up? How are you, G? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So
Nice to meet you. Nice to
how
meet you guys.
excited you are?
Quite excited, obviously. First singles out of the album, and now
Yes.
quite a few months to go. So it's a काफी अरसे से इस पे काम हो रहा था, and finally it's reached a stage of completion. लोगों को सुनने को मिला.
What took you so long to, kind of come up with your first solo album? Was it the all the film score that you have created and all those things, or was it a kind of conscious effort to get into the business first, understanding it better, and then come up with something that is very personal as well as of your own?
Exactly, like you put it. I think I wanted to get more experience first. I wanted to spend more time working with more experienced people, understanding the industry, understanding, okay, when you are vulnerable and you put out something personal, how it would be received. And I think that was
Hmm.
the reason why I wanted to feel, most importantly, that the work was at a standard that I was satisfied and I think was ready from my side to be put out. So from my end, it was it's been a genuine, honest effort. अभी तक जो भी response आ रहा है गाने को और generally the fact कि मैंने album
Hmm.
किया है, I couldn't be more grateful.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm excited.
Hmm.
पहली बार हुआ जिंदगी में कि I'm excited कि अच्छा next कब आएगा ताकि लोगों को सुनने को मिले. So that for me is exciting.
It is also very interesting that you have collaborated with some of the very celebrated artists for this particular album. Tell us a little more about that also.
So there are a few collaborations that are not mentioned yet, which with time as the songs come they will be mentioned. But there is one collaboration that is mentioned, and that is a blessing for me. That he has been kind enough to bless the album, and that was with Ustad Fateh Ali Khan Sahab. That I think he is a legend in himself, and he is a maestro for all of us. So the fact that he honored me, I'd worked with him
Yes.
before on film scores, but this was the first time that I said कि ये मेरी अपनी चीज है, and would you like to feature? And he was very very kind and gracious that he did. So that I can't explain how excited I am for his fans and generally music listeners around the world to hear that.
When it comes to music, it is quite obvious that Adnan Sami is such an inspiration for many budding musicians as well, because he himself is such a legendary figure. How influenced and inspired you are by Adnan Sami's music?
Dekhin, first, I want to speak to him not as my father, as a legendary musician. And I feel that anybody in my generation today, um,
Hmm.
almost everybody on some level is influenced by his work. He has had
Hmm. Hmm.
a huge footprint and a huge imprint on everybody's work in terms of technique, style, how he, and I can go on and on about all the impact that he's had on modern music today. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm before after his son, I'm his biggest fan. I've studied his work because music is it's a very interesting field. We when a child comes into this field, we are not only carrying on the music, we're also carrying on the legacy. And so it's never been like I've been in the studio and I've been like, okay, how is my dad going to do this, so I'm going to do it like that, or I'm going to try to like
Hmm.
fight it and do it against. It's been more that okay, koi cheezein genetically naturally aati hain. I've heard a lot of his music, so I don't shy away from it. I don't try to copy it because that would be wrong as well. I don't shy away from it when it naturally happens. Like on the album, there's a song called Jadugari. That's the third release, inshallah, and that song is an ode from my side to his technique. It's like a tribute from my side to his technique of how he how he arranged music, how he felt
Hmm.
melody, how he expressed himself. So that naturally happens. And as a son, if अगर कोई चीजें होता है ना कि कुदरती आपके डीएनए में हैं, मुझे कभी भी महसूस होता है.
मुंबई लास्ट टाइम कब आए थे आप?
I was there pre-COVID.
अच्छा. अच्छा.
COVID से
And
बिल्कुल पहले.
आपने did you share the album with your dad? Like, what was his reaction like? I'm sure कि to an extent he is biased. After all, you are the beta, तो वो तो होगा ही. But फिर भी मतलब एक होता है ना कि थोड़ा सा क्रिटिकली उन्होंने कुछ कहा है क्या? What was his
देखिए
reaction like?
देखिए, सच बताऊं, मैं आपसे सच बताऊं, मेरा घर बड़ा क्रिटिकल घर है। हमारे घर में तारीफें नहीं होती।
मतलब
तो
मम्मी
यू नो
पापा
ही,
दोनों ही ऐसे करते हैं क्या?
दोनों ऐसे ही, दोनों
मतलब
ऐसे
कि नहीं
ही।
नहीं।
I think they're both very. They have high expectations from me, so they don't get pleased easily. It takes a lot.
हम्म।
You know, my mother commented on a post of mine on Instagram about the song, or that's the first time he's said something like that, and it meant the world. You know, as a child, you want your parents to feel proud of, or even be happy with
You
what.
always want to impress them, of course.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I remember he said something to me many years ago. He said कि जिस दिन तुम्हारा गाना एक ऐसे छोटे गांव में बज रहा हो जहां तुम जुबान नहीं बोल सकते हो वहां की, उस दिन तुम हिट हो, उस वक्त तक हिट नहीं हो. That has not happened yet. When it does happen, then I'll think about it. But it was wise words from him. But they're both very कंस्ट्रक्टिवली क्रिटिकल, एंड आई एम, जब छोटा होता था तो बहुत बुरा लगता था, क्योंकि लगता था कि मैं उनको
हाँ
खुश कभी नहीं कर सकता, लेकिन अब
हाँ।
जाके समझ में आना शुरू हुआ है कि why they've been like that, and I think it only benefits me when they push me in that manner.